look, there are pieces of wood that people consider worthless. Offcuts from a carpenter's bench, pallets left behind from shipping crates, broken furniture that no longer fits in someone's home, or discarded beams from a renovation site. To most people, these scraps are nothing but waste. They pile up in corners, they gather dust, and eventually they are burned or thrown into landfills. But if we pause for a moment, if we look closer, we begin to realize something extraordinary. Scrapwood isn't trash at all. Scrapwood is possibility. It is the silent reminder that even the smallest fragment of nature carries beauty, purpose, and value. Think about it for a moment. Every piece of wood, no matter how small, once came from a tree that took years, even decades, to grow. Inside that wood lives the story of seasons, of sun and rain, of roots deep in the soil and branches stretching toward the sky. When we throw away wood, we throw away not just material, but history and character. But when we take scraps and give them new life, we are honoring that story. We are proving that even the overlooked and forgotten can be transformed into something meaningful. And in our world today, that transformation matters more than ever. We live in an age of excess, where waste has become a constant problem and sustainability is no longer a choice, but a responsibility. Every board that is saved from a landfill, every plank that is reused instead of wasted, becomes part of a larger effort to live responsibly on this planet. Scrapwood projects are not just creative hobbies. They are acts of recycling, of environmental care, and of respect for natural resources. They remind us that sustainability can be beautiful, and that design can be both eco-friendly and inspiring. But beyond the philosophy, beyond the environmental responsibility, there's also something very practical and exciting about working with scrap wood, and that is profit. You see, when you build large furniture pieces, the cost of materials can quickly rise. A dining table might take hundreds of dollars of oak or walnut, and days or even weeks of labor. It is rewarding, yes, but it is also expensive and time-consuming. Scrapwood changes the equation. The material is often free, because it comes from leftovers. The projects are smaller, which means they take less time. And the final results, rustic shelves, geometric wall art, candle holders, planters, or frames, are exactly the kind of decor pieces that people love to buy. Low investment, high return. That is the magic formula hidden in every scrap of wood. And then there is the creative side. Working with scraps invites imagination. It challenges you to see shapes and patterns where others see waste. A narrow offcut becomes a picture frame. A block turns into a candle stand. Thin strips line up to form a beautiful striped cutting board. Scrapwood doesn't limit creativity, it sparks it. Because every unusual piece asks a question, what could I become? And when you answer that question with your hands, you unlock both art and function. This is why scrapwood holds such a special place in modern woodworking. It is valuable because it saves money. It is eco-friendly because it reduces waste. It is profitable because it turns nothing into something people are eager to buy. And most importantly, it teaches us to see potential everywhere, even in what others throw away. So as we begin this journey together, remember this simple truth. Small projects use less wood, which keeps costs low. But the deeper truth is that working with scraps is not about smallness at all. It is about vision. It is about seeing abundance where others see scarcity, beauty where others see waste, and opportunity where others see limits. Scrapwood is not the end of a material's life. It is the beginning of something new. Size has never been the measure of greatness. Some people think that only large builds, big tables, towering bookshelves, or heavy cabinets carry real value. But the truth is far different. The real magic often lies in projects that are smaller, smarter, and more creative. When we work on smaller projects, something remarkable happens. We pay attention to the little details. Every curve, every joint, every finish becomes sharper, more refined, more intentional. Instead of wrestling with bulky slabs of wood, we handle pieces that fit neatly in our hands, inviting precision and care. The process slows down, but the creativity speeds up. Smaller doesn't mean less. Smaller means focused. A set of coasters, a jewelry box, or a candle holder may take only a fraction of the wood and time of a large project, but it delivers just as much joy, sometimes even more, because in those smaller objects, we find a chance to experiment. We can try new shapes, new finishes, new techniques without fear of wasting expensive lumber. A mistake is only a lesson, never a disaster. Smarter projects are born from this mindset. They use less material, less space, and less cost, but they offer more value. They solve problems in daily life. They add beauty to ordinary spaces, and they fit into homes and hearts more easily. When you look at a scrap of wood and imagine not what it was, but what it could be, you are thinking smarter. You are designing with purpose. And above all, smaller and smarter projects spark creativity. They open the door to endless possibilities. A short offcut becomes the base for a desk organizer. Thin strips turn into striking wall art. Leftover blocks transform into toys, puzzles, or decorative accents. Each piece of scrap whispers an invitation. Turn me into something. And with imagination, you do. This is why woodworking isn't about size, but about vision. The projects that endure, the ones people love, are not always the grandest, but the cleverest. Smaller, smarter, more creative. That is where true craftsmanship shines.